What's going on, guys? ZombifiedGamer here and welcome back to some more This Is the Police. Ambulance driver takes down robber addict. Immigrants in city up by 19%. Bishop demands name change for Holy House Pizza. Why? And that's all the same. I'm too tired, I can hardly walk straight. Can I go home? No. Let's start the day. Nope, we're not going to use that because Bob and Friends always claim you for copyrights. Can't use that one either. This'll do. Careless Love. This day will probably be really shit considering I've only got 2 officers and I've got a nice $66 salary. That's terrible. Jackie swore an oath to serve the city, blah blah blah, don't care. I know the City Hall hates me, but it is what it is. Fucking hell, there's a lot of things coming in. A young man became outraged when an elderly woman broke in front of him in line, and he struck her with force. A cleaning woman tried to intervene, but she came under blows as well. Okay. Let's check the other ones. The corn monument has been strapped with explosives, and the clear voice held onto the phone, and then the line was dead. Okay. That's probably false. I'll just send them on that because it's almost finished. Janet Salazar Guerrero startled an intruder who was trying to break into her house. He kept yelling in a drunken voice and said if I didn't open up there'd be trouble. Interesting. I don't think I'll be able to get to either of those two. Mrs. House called a complaint about some addicts who were loitering around the Edgar Allan Poe monument. They're turning their brains to mush. They shoot up right there in the park, in broad daylight, no shame, no conscience. Well then, this day's probably going to go terrible considering I've only got 2 officers. It wasn't a bomb, some children decided to play terrorist and taped some wire to a normal shoebox. Okay. The drunken man mistakenly thought he was breaking into his own house and that his wife was refusing to let him in. Okay, so far so good. And they did that perfectly. Good. I won't be able to get to the drug use. We have an attempted carjacking. A teenager stole an expensive car but lost control and crashed the vehicle, ended up fleeing the scene. Okay. Let's just send all of them on it. Because why not? And of course, the offenders escaped that one because I didn't send anyone because I couldn't. Let's just get some more officers on Shift A because that's what we're on now. And I definitely need more than 2. I still don't understand why it says political views. Because why does that matter? But there we go. We've got 2 more officers ready for the next Shift A. He obviously won't be joining this shift, unfortunately, but... Students report a serious fight going down on the street outside their dorm. Several people are shooting at each other with machine guns right in the middle of the road. Pedestrians are hiding behind cars, and someone is bleeding on the pavement. This has the markings of a mafia war. And I can't go to it. Because they're too scared. Even though they have a SWAT team with them, 2 officers is not enough. And that's the investigation ready and opened. Cool. These officers are needed for official questioning. This may take a few days, which time they'll be exempt from all duties. Well, this is bullshit. Because now I can't do anything today. Because I have no officers now. Well, someone died. Cool. I may as well read them since I can't go to them anyway. We've received 12 complaints about MoneyGrow, a company which promises reliable investment returns. Once they got the money, they started avoiding their investors. They became belligerent and urged even their big investors to simply trust them. Brett Bryant, who lost over $10,000, said the director of MoneyGrow has withdrawn all the money and is preparing to flee the country. Well, he's probably going to end up fleeing the country because I can't go there, which is a shame. I came to the park to play chess and then people started running past screaming, covered in blood, reported breathless Mr. Connolly. I just ran as fast as I could. It was terrible. I'm sure they're fine though. It's probably some stunt or something. Jack, we've got something going down at Chinatown at 22. Okay. Well, I can't go to it anyway, so... What can we do here? I could hire a snitch. I don't need a new detective. I've got too many detectives as it is. I need more officers. Since there's an investigation, let's get one of my officers to snitch. Let's go with this guy. The secretary at Blink Zone Studio reported a trainee photographer became so excited during a nude photo shoot that he attacked the model and intends to rape her. Or he locked himself in a room with her and he's tying her up with cables. Okay. Mr. Connolly was experiencing the Indian festival. Okay. So many crimes are going to go on today because I can't go to them. During a bodybuilding show, a small group of girls burst into the room and did something that threatens the very lives of the participants. One of the bodybuilders put in the call to the police, but his words were slurred as he spoke through his tears, so he was unable to clearly explain the situation. Bill Buckler saw a truck and a few cars on near his farm. Around them was a group of 10 people arguing. The farmer wanted to drive the suspicious folks away from there, but when they saw him, they grabbed some weapons from their vehicles and opened fire. Buckler somehow managed to get to the back of the house safely and called the police. Okay. Well, I guess the model died then. And there's some more death. The girls were just shouting insults at and belittling the bodybuilder's lifestyle, which brought the muscle-bound mopes to tears. That's funny. Men armed with knives and iron bars broke into the club determined to show the yellow slopes how we fight here in Freiburg. The fight spread and several bystanders were drawn in, but one managed to escape and call the police. Okay. I can't just send the paddy wagon, so I guess the fight will continue. Got some new frames, nice. And there's my $3,000. And there's a new person dead. And that's the end of the day. Let's have a look at the other shift. Got 3 officers, okay. Let's end the day.
Needless to say, I really miss them a lot. I can't wait for the moment when I'll see them again.
Wouldn't you like to see me?
Ah, Lana, but we,
Let me guess. You've thought about it, but then you realized this can only bring us more suffering. Besides, it's dangerous given the kind of work we do, and why ruin things when everything is going so well, right?
Well, if you know what I think, then you must be thinking the same thing.
Yeah, Jack. Because it's true. But is it fair?
You know what wouldn't be fair? If your friends caught you in a karaoke bar with an old man.
With an old man?
Maybe you imagine you've been talking to a young Greek god with long golden hair, but I'm a 60-year-old man, Lana.
Listen to me, Jack. Ever since high school, I've been surrounded by old men. At university, half my classmates were old men. They might have been 18 years old, but they were already half in the grave. No goals, no ideas, just endless burned-out looks on their faces, exhausted and empty. At work, even my younger colleagues act like old men. They don't have the stomach for a fight. They're already dreaming of retirement. And then there's you, Jack. The only man for a long time who felt the same age as me. Because you fight. Because there's life inside you.
Lana, Damn, it's true. There's life in me yet.
Jack, you're so cocky.
Oh, excuse me, miss. I am the most promising young prosecutor in the country.
You know it's true.
Middle school heading to National Physics Olympiad. City fountains cleaned, and action thriller Bloody Shirt 3 rakes in cash at box office. Okay. And that's still the same. The chain is only as strong as its weakest link. Yeah. Gibbons didn't come into work today. I'm suffering an extremely severe anxiety attack and I can't concentrate on anything. Can I go home? Sure, I don't need you anyway, but you can come tomorrow. Some of my friends asked me to help out the animal shelter. They're badly short-staffed. Can I have the day off? No. I'm badly short-staffed. So you can work. Let's go. Back in business. Let's go. I'm pretty sure your staff is preparing a plot against you. That's from the snitch. Interesting. What can we do with City Hall? Oh, we can request a new thing. Let's request officers. It will only get rejected anyway because City Hall hates me, but still. An informant gave us an address for one of the biggest drug houses in the city. According to our information, there's about 3 dozen drug addicts, many of them armed. Just past the day, 3 people in there were shot dead and thrown in a corner to rot. Lovely. Let's go full force on this because why not? There's no point in sending just 2 people because I can't send one person out on their own, so let's just send everything. And a bomb threat at a school. Lovely. In the shadows and corners, dozens of people lay unconscious and bags and syringes are scattered everywhere. Well, let's just get an ambulance in then. You don't want to do mouth-to-mouth to a random addict. A naked addict with a shotgun flies out the bathroom and starts putting holes in the ceiling. Okay, shoot him. He fired first, so shoot him. Then we found some heroin. Nice. Bring it to the police station, because there are investigators in right now. A physical education teacher noticed a suspicious fan park near the school. There was no one inside, but I heard some kind of strange machine running in the back. Just like in the movies, do we need to evacuate the school? Probably not. I'm sure that's a false alarm. 4 activists from the group Life After Meat, in a show of support for their fellow animals, entered the zoo, used bolt cutters to remove locks from cages. Several wild animals have gotten loose, and some are attacking the zoo's visitors. Lovely. I'll try to send my people to that then. Send them in full force again. I'm not sure why it wouldn't let me put either one on there. There we go. Let's check the bomb threat. It was a false alarm. There were no bombs in the van, just a bunch of antiques. The van belongs to a junk dealer and collector. An armed robbery. We've just got a call from a halal grocery. 2 armed robbers wearing US president masks just cleaned out the cash box. Okay. Well, I might have to skip this one because I don't know if my officers will be back in time. I don't have backup for you, so deal with it on your own. And you did it perfectly, so. You didn't need the backup anyway. Several people are smashing the glass entrance to the cinema and tearing the posters outside. They're shouting modern cinema corrupts the youth and someone just pulled out a Molotov cocktail. Okay. Yeah, people died in the armed robbery because I couldn't get there in time. So let's just send them to the cinema.
310 in progress.
And there's a domestic disturbance as well. Okay. One of the hooligans is trying to light a Molotov cocktail, but his lighter won't strike. Let's just use some fire extinguishers on them. Easy. And there's an armed robbery as well. According to Mr. Adams, the Earth is about to be struck by a giant meteor. You see how dark it just got outside? There's a meteor blocking out the sun. And there's stones falling on my roof. They're from the meteor. One of them just broke into the kitchen window. I have to get my family to safety. Send someone to help. Well, that's obviously a false alarm. Mr. Jakobski withdrew a large sum from his bank account. Then, while getting into his car, a man carrying a gun approached him from behind. He told me not to turn around and hand over the money, and then he ran away. When I finally turned around, I saw a tall figure in a hood, ducking in the alley. Okay. Well, I'll have to send everyone when they get back, if they're back in time. And a drug possession as well. Okay. Mr. Adams was overreacting to a hailstorm. Okay. Off you go. The former chef of a restaurant in Chinatown says that the kitchen is used to sort and cut heroin. My friend had an overdose from the garbage they mix up there. I want those bastards to pay. I mean, that could just be a false alarm. It could just be you wanting them to be raided by the police to give them bad press. Jack, once again the fucking bikers have set up camp right outside. Send some police over to scare them off so they won't come around our territory anymore. I'll have to refuse that because I don't have the officers. What services do the Vargas actually give me? So I can kill cops or detectives. Well, one detective. Why would I want to do that? Unless I know they're gonna snitch on me, I suppose. Loyal fans have bought up all the bananas at the grocery stores, preparing to taunt the visiting rival football team, which consists almost entirely of dark-skinned men. A judge has been forced to stop the game unless the fans will allow order to be restored. But our fans don't seem to want to settle down. They're singing racist songs and working each other up into a frenzy. The situation could get ugly. Okay, I don't think I'll be able to get to the drug possession in time. An elderly widow was visiting the grave of her husband when she heard some terrible sounds, wheezing, moaning and rustling, as if someone was trying to climb up out of the ground. I mean, that could just be someone mourning. I don't have backup for you, just do it. Drug possession, someone died, and they successfully did the armed robbery and we got some money out of it. Let's bring that to the station. The park was raided by a young musical group, Motorman, which staged a spontaneous anti-government concert and immediately pulled in dozens of fans. That's not too serious, so I'll leave that. Will they get back in time for anything? Okay, that's the riot gone. Got no new frames for the abduction, that's shit. And I don't have enough frames to actually complete it yet. Just in time for the noise complaint, which is a false alarm anyway. Ayan Kazami called in the loud music complaint. Apparently he regrets moving next to a nightclub. I've had it up to here with those fucking queers. Unless you do something about it, the whole neighbourhood is going to go down there and tear them to pieces. Off we go then. Let's prevent a homophobic attack. False alarm. Sounds came from an African grey parrot which had flown into the cemetery. Soon the owner of the parrot found him and took him home. I better keep a closer eye on him. And that one escaped as well, of course. Okay, this seems to be the last call of the day. It was still a shit day, but at least it was better than the previous. Because I actually had officers throughout the entire day. Perfect. Let's end the day. We might need to put some people on Shift A. We have 3 people for Shift A now. But I'll put Asano on. Day 91. I wonder how many days are actually in this game. I suppose we'll find out eventually, but for now I'm going to leave it here. Leave a like if you enjoyed watching, don't forget to subscribe, and goodbye.
I got a zombie army, and you can't harm me. Yeah, hoodoo, bitch. Drink blood like a vampire without warning. Hoodoo, bitch. Let's go.